Thanks for staying with us. The First Americans Museum offered a place for families to grieve, reflect, and honor any missing or murdered Indigenous person. Organizers say this is a crisis that has plagued Indigenous communities for far too long. News 9's Angelicia Bruton has more on how they plan to create change and healing for those affected.
What would it be like if I went missing?
Lauren Palmer with the Wild Mother says unfortunately too many Indigenous people already know the answer to this question.
It is really, really disheartening when you see missing poster after missing poster of relatives who were living their lives, honestly.
First Americans Museum is reflecting on those unaccounted for and the lives lost of Indigenous people. The Oklahoma State chapter of Missing and Murdered Indigenous People tell me that there are around 400 missing and murdered Indigenous people here in Oklahoma, and that number continues to grow.
We know that there are many others that have sort of fallen by the wayside.
For Palmer, her art is her medicine. With flowers, she hopes to spread awareness and honor the families of those fighting this crisis.
We hope that the families that join us today at FAM feel the love and care that we have for them, that they are able to see the flowers that are installed, but also the ones that they get to take home as a token of our support.
Other organizations showed their support as well by sharing resources with families.
Everybody kind of has similar stories, but of course we're all distinct on what our stories are. Unfortunately, with violence being so prevalent in Indian country, there's so many of us that are either survivors ourselves or know somebody that is a missing and murdered Indigenous person.
Palmer says this issue hits close to home. She plans to continue fighting for justice and healing for Indigenous communities.
I have a relative that was murdered when I was a really young child. In a way, we do a bit of this work for her.
Angelicia Bruton, Oklahoma's Own, News 9.